Our next story comes from the Indian state of Rajasthan, where a toddler's life has been saved thanks to his doctors and his family. But also an actor, a cricketer, vegetable vendors, shopkeepers, and several other people. This is the story of Hridayan Sharma. He's 22 months old and he suffers from a rare genetic disorder called spinal muscular atrophy, where the patient cannot control their muscles. The child had lost nearly all bodily function below the waist. His life was under threat. The condition could be treated though. All he needed was an injection. But two problems stood in the way. First, there was a strict deadline to give this injection, and second, it was very expensive. This jab was worth 17.5 crore rupees. That's more than $2 million. The child's family could not afford it. So they started a crowdfunding campaign. In other words, a drive to raise money from a large group of people. The campaign garnered immense traction. It was widely shared on social media, and within 3 months, the family raised 9 crore rupees, which is about $1 million. Now, the boy has been given the injection. His life has been saved. The remaining amount, which is close to $1 million, needs to be deposited within a year. Many are hopeful that crowdfunding will bear fruit again. But this is a big win in itself, not just for the toddler, but also for millions who depend on crowdfunding the world over. This concept, the concept of crowdfunding, is not new. In its most basic form, it refers to gathering money or small gifts to help someone. And people have done it for generations. But online crowdfunding picked up just about a decade ago. It started with a handful of websites prompting pet projects or small causes, promoting rather pet projects or small causes. Today, there are over 1,000 crowdfunding websites. The global crowdfunding market is worth more than $1 billion. In India, the number is estimated at $5 million. Crowdfunding platforms have raised tens of billions of dollars globally. Take GoFundMe, for example. It's one of the market leaders. It was launched in the year 2010, and since then it has generated $30 billion. 150 million people have reportedly sent or received money through this platform. Crowdfunding is an incredibly powerful tool. It can build communities, raise funds in desperate times, and help spread messages to a wider audience. So why do people use crowdfunding? Healthcare funding is one of the primary reasons. Take Milap, for example. Milap is an Indian crowdfunding platform. It has raised a total of $275 million, and 80% of that amount has funded medical treatment. But that's not all. From financial apps to fidget cubes, many products trace their roots back to crowdfunding. To put it simply, crowdfunding is used for all kinds of causes: to save museums, to survive wars, to rebuild cities, even to help Donald Trump, even to remove forehead tattoos. People pick a cause that they care about and donate money for it. So far, so good. But only if your campaign is successful, and there is no guarantee of it. The average success rate of crowdfunding is just about 20%. For starters, how you design your campaign matters. A single spelling error reduces chances of funding success by 13%. Secondly, research proves that crowdfunding usually benefits the wealthy rather than those who really need it, because the wealthy have larger social networks and they know more people with money. What's more, crowdfunding does not bring overnight success.
When someone tells you that you've got no water and you're out there fundraising on the internet for a month or two, that takes a lot of time. So that is the biggest difficulty. And really, when you promise a village a well, there's a lot of hope and a lot of expectation on the part of the people who are waiting. So we have to be a little faster in the process and look for the means to make this well.
And worst of all, like most things internet, there are regulation problems here. There have been numerous cases of terror funding, also scams or frauds. Usually, most platforms run a background check. They ask for necessary documents before starting a funding campaign, but it is easy for people to slip through the cracks. Sometimes treatments conclude, but fundraising goes on, or a large sum of money is raised for smaller surgeries. Sometimes the roles are reversed as well. Crowdfunding platforms charge hidden fees. So there are major transparency issues. In most countries, crowdfunding platforms are governed by authorities, but they don't have a specific regulator. There is no set framework. There are few requirements to disclose procedures, fee structures, and safeguarding mechanisms. So there is a lack of accountability. That being said, crowdfunding is increasingly becoming a part of the mainstream. So if you choose to participate, be careful, do your research, because if all goes well, lives could indeed be saved.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. Is it the end of the road for the African National Congress? And will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback? From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.